of opinionated and narrow-minded, and I'm just kind of throwing those words out there because I'm switching gears just a little bit. When Pastor Jay Hayslip, Deitrick Haddon, do you feel like Deitrick overreacted, or do you feel like that was appropriate for him to approach Deitrick after the fact about the marriage? What are your thoughts, Bishop Gibson?
No, I don't think Deitrick overreacted. I think Jay overreacted. Because Jay and Deitrick were friends. Jay came to me when I was eating lunch. He said, I have a problem, Ron. I need your advice on it. He said, I was reading the blogs on social media, and they said I should have asked Deitrick, was Dominique pregnant before I married him? I said, wait, hold on. I said, you heard on social media that Dominique was pregnant and that wasn't your idea? You listening to blogs and you let people feed something into your mind that's going to cause you to confront Deitrick when that wasn't in your heart? I said, Deitrick asked you to marry him because he trusted you and felt you had unconditional love. I said, Jay, I thought that was from your mind, that you wasn't going to marry Deitrick because you knew Dominique was pregnant. But you said somebody from the blogs, some critic, fed that to you on Twitter, and you fell into it like that. I said, that's totally nonsense. That wasn't inspired. That wasn't your inspired thought. I think that it was. I would like Jay kind of push it a little bit.
You see, one of the things that bother me so awfully about church folk, and I don't talk about church folk too often because I'm one. Okay, so I'm talking about. But I grew up under heavy manners. Heil Hitler, the Fuhrer himself. My granduncle was my pastor. Now, what I would like to point out is that he wouldn't marry anybody who was pregnant. He wouldn't do it. And I hear people say
he wouldn't do it.
No, he wouldn't. Okay. And I hear people say things like a child that's an illegitimate child. Now, I wish somebody would tell me what makes a child illegal. You see, after all, so the real sin is not in the man's wife being pregnant. The sin is in them having sex before they're married. So now, why do we penalize her pregnancy or the child in her and begin to start that negative journey that is going to make that child some kind of out-left human being?
Are you talking, or do you want an answer?
Hey, it's what you call argumentative.
Okay,
argumentative. And what I'm doing is I'm dealing with both sides.
Why should we penalize pregnant?
See, my point is, no, here's my point. The sin is not in her being pregnant.
Yes, it is. She had sex outside of marriage.
Listen,
that's a sin.
The sin, listen to me. Listen carefully. Listen. The sin is not in her being pregnant, because had he been having sex with her and she was not pregnant, he wouldn't have the problem. When he was asked straight out, did you have sex before you were married? What was his response? Yes, I did. The point is, no, it's not irrelevant. The point is that people have problems when you get caught.
And he says,
Let's allow Bishop Gibson to
hey, oh, he said something, huh? He didn't say nothing. When you listen, sometimes you have sex and you don't get pregnant. Sometimes you have sex and you do get pregnant. She got pregnant outside of wedlock. And as preachers, of which we are, that's against God's word.
So would it have been better?
He only condones,
Hold your question.
God, listen to me, young people. God only condones sex within the confines of marriage. And marriage is honorable in the eyes of God. I didn't get you.
Listen, who said
okay, go
ahead. I don't believe, if you listen carefully, the sin was having sex without being married.
You didn't say
that.
No, you didn't say that. Well, I didn't hear that.
He did say that. Okay.
I rest my case.
Yeah, the sin was having sex outside of marriage. And we're not condemning them because God is a gracious God. Dietrich has repented. He's moving on.
But we're not,
Dominique has
but we have
repented.
failed to deal with the issue that's significant. The significant issue here is the sin is having sex without being married.
That's right.
I agree.
End of story.
Right.
So whether or not she is pregnant, it has nothing to bear upon the fact that he had sex, because he would have married someone else without asking the question if she was not in the stage of having shown or somebody didn't say something. And here's the problem with that. The journey begins for a child who should and is not responsible for what their parents did to bring them in the world. But because of our pseudo-Christian stand, our hypocritical behavior, we now label a child who has to fight against the attitudes of people in a Christian environment over what their parents did.
That's a whole different
That had
story.
nothing to do.
Yeah,
And
that's
point.
not relevant to
My
this.
point is, you started when you start saying, I'm not gonna marry because you and I need to know. That's when you start villainizing the child.